And there is a very decent attendance here from what I can see today already.
I'd say we're looking at least 1,500.
Looks to be that way. I'm looking forward to hearing what Mark will tell us later will be the attendance. It's about to get kicked off and we're underway now. With City kicking from left to right from the grandstand up towards the Bristol Landers. 𝗛𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗚𝗚𝗧𝗏 launching the ball forward down to the left. Almost hitting the head of Tom Smith. A little too short Vaughan. Lines trying to take a touch to push it forward. It's now up to Ross Stern. Jack Batten holding him well. All players push forward really well to the left-hand side. It's with Zach Smith now. Playing the wing-back role on the left-hand side. Back to Ross Stern. Near the edge of the box and play it out wide to the right. Does give up to Ollie Chamberlain. Just to send a cross into the penalty spot. Dan Hayfield clears it away. He throws the ball out quickly towards Hayfield on the right-hand side. He's charging down the right flank now. He does send a cross in, could reach Cody Cook, but Bycroft's there. He does fumble it though, does fall to Cody Cook. And it may have just come off Bycroft there. Referee says no, goal kick. It did look like it may have come off Bycroft last, who tumbled down with Cody Cook. Now with Morton back to Greenside, now with Morton again. Tries to switch up play to right-hand side, but does fall to Tom Smith. Has a bit of space around him. A light touch towards Hayfield, but he does collect the ball. Now to Joe Rains. Great to see him back in the starting team as well. Wilson holds up the ball well for Hayfield near the byline, sends across on the right-hand side of the box. Cleared away by Dan Bull, former City man. Waiting to charge in. They do now as Chris Lyne sends it in towards the penalty spot. Could fall all the way towards James Morton, I think it was. And here comes Chris Lynes. Sends in a really good-looking ball. Falls to Wilson. His first touch is decent, but he can't quite bring it ahead of him. It's cleared away now with Stern. Great tackle by Morton to dispossess him. And Cody Cook takes a shot from range. Rebound straight off of Dan Bull that time. So he's joining the Romans. Here comes the corner from said veteran. Now in towards the back post for Cody Cook, who does able to get his head, and then Batten's able to get his head onto the second cross. But Bycroft is there to collect simply. The referee blows the whistle now. Here comes Chris Lynes with the cross in towards the penalty spot. And once again, Jack Batten's there. Good clearance that time by Wannell. And Lynes' first touch lets him down. He tried to let it off for Tom Smith, but Smith had already made a run forward, and it falls to Chamberlain now on the right-hand side. Great opportunity for the Peacocks to break away here on the right flank. Here's a player on his own in the middle, tries to send it in towards him. It would have been Cameron Evans. We haven't seen too much of him today. It's now back with Chamberlain. Greenside did well to clear that cross away. Now on the edge of box with Smith, who takes a shot from range, and now Chamberlain as well from range. But it's a very poor effort, which just goes all the way out for actually a throw-in. I'd like to see that game go ahead, actually, between Concord and Canvey. As the ball is sent forward now by Taunton. It is a free kick in towards Grimes that time. He got his head under the ball, and it just goes over the bar. So here comes Rains now with the long throw. It's in towards the near post, and Cody Cook was there to try and win that header. Back with Rains, right-hand side of the box. It sends a looping ball up towards Parcell. It could fall now for Lynes. It takes a shot, but it's way wide. But Chamberlain tries to clear it away, falls to Hayfield, who takes a shot, charged down once again by Chamberlain. And is able to bring it away now with Ross Stern. Has an opportunity, if he can get past Greenside, he will be one-on-one with the keeper. Sends a lovely ball out to the right-hand side with Chamberlain. Incoming Zach Smith on the left-hand side. Sends a cross in, but it's charged down really well by Morton. It's actually their longest serving player for Taunton now, as the cross comes in towards the penalty spot. Headed away that time by Cook, I believe it was, at the near post. And Wannell on the secondary header. Goes straight at Max Harris that time. And there goes the half-time whistle. And it is Bath City 0, Taunton 0. Bath certainly on top, but not by much. Haven't had many clear-cut opportunities. Taunton defending extremely well. Now Greenside trying to win my header. He actually missed it completely. And Chamberlain luckily falters on his first touch, but is able to keep possession. Now Rains able to send it forward to Lynes. A lovely push ahead towards Tom Smith now, who can drive down that central line. Oh, it's a lovely through ball to Scott Wilson. If he can bring back onto his right, he'll take a shot. He does. Great save from Bycroft to get down low to his left. Brilliant from Scott Wilson to bring it back onto his right side on the edge of the box. It was a curling effort going towards the bottom right corner. Wilson again, lays off to Cody Cook, has a bit of space around him. Goes back to Chris Lynes instead. Closest City have come so far. Rains with the cross in towards Cody Cook, but it's over him and Jack Bycroft as well, just to come out and collect that. Wow, great opportunity for City. It may go back to Grimes, it does so. Looking for an opportunity to cross the ball in. Scott Wilson's all over him. Brings it infield towards Chamberlain, who could unleash a shot now. Instead he goes back to Wannell, back to Chamberlain, has plenty of space ahead of him. Tracked down well by Morton. It's a curling effort. It looked like it was going way over, but Max Harris does really well to dive to his right. It looked like the ball was going way over the bar and wide. Smith now able to just hold up the ball, waiting for an oncoming runner, tries to send the ball forward towards lines on the right-hand side. Probably actually would have rather have had a different player, but it doesn't matter because it was charged down anyhow. And now Taunton bringing it down the left-hand side. They send a cross in towards Burgess, who gets his head onto it. And it just hits the roof of the netting. Max Harris did dive for it. Still inside his own half. It will be a free kick, but referee says play on. Advantage is played, and probably a good advantage really, but maybe City would have preferred the free kick. Oh, it's a brilliant ball by Joe Rain. Send it down the right-hand side for Dan Hayfield. There's plenty of space ahead of him. Tries to bring it inside. He's in the box now. Lays off for Chris Lyons. Take a shot, but it bobbles. Can fall to Wilson. Cleared away by Chamberlain. Good opportunity for Lyons to try and get a much clearer shot there.
He didn't really get much power behind it, did he?
It looked like he was trying to... Well, it looked like between two minds of whether he was going to absolutely smack it or place it. Now it's Chris Lyons on the ball. Up to Rains on the right-hand side. Can send a cross in. He does so into a stop swing. Wins a header. Oh, it goes just wide, but it is offside. And looked like... It didn't look like Smith was offside initially.
Smith can't have been offside.
So I wonder if he was calling for Cody Cook, who was running on to the header. Yeah, very good for Slough, trying to keep their survival hopes alive. Now pushed out the relegation zone. That's with Hayfield, who does really well to hold the ball up. And now on the right-hand side with Joe Rains, who can try and send a cross in now. His touch is a bit heavy. He does send a cross towards the back post. Wilson's coming in, but he's not quite a yard. He's a yard too short. He did actually leap to try and win the volley on that one. So they can grab this opening goal.
Six City players on the edge of the 18-yard box.
Lines in towards the near post and falls to Parcell, who had to come down, and it bubbled up right as he unleashed the shot, and he just half volleys it way over the bar. Wilson, that's brilliant from Wilson. Just get over top to Spokes, didn't quite reach him though. Spokes does well to win that header though. Up towards the microphone from Wilson. It's headed away that time by Nick Grimes. And our appeal was for penalty because Cody Cook went down in the box that time. Now it's back with Morton. Just looking for an opening again. Wilson would much rather see him in the box, or he may have found himself a yard to take a shot. He does so, and it's deflected away for a corner off of Lloyd James. But it's brilliant from Scott Wilson just to give himself that extra yard of space. Smith does really well to let off for Hayfield. Going up against 𝗛𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗚𝗏, he wins that battle, sends a drilled low cross in towards Smith, but then Cody Cook tries to use his left foot to take a shot at goal, but it's a rather tame effort inside the box. Batten does brilliantly, and it's all City putting on all the pressure now. Hayfield tries to run past the defensive line of Taunton, but his touch is too heavy and it goes out for a goal kick. It will certainly be interesting to see who he comes on for as well, as Cody Cook latches onto that header, and he has a chance to take a shot. It's a very ambitious effort from Cody Cook. He had Scott Wilson ahead of him on the run towards goal. I'm very surprised Cody Cook did that. Oh man, we go that time. Chris Lyons was shut down. Could be an opportunity for Taunton to come away with it now through Smith. Now 𝗛𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗏 inside the box, gets onto his right foot, takes a shot, and Max Harris dives to his right. Probably a lot more dramatic than he needed to be there, Max Harris, but got to have a bit of a highlight reel in a game like this. Yeah, 15 minutes remaining here at Taunton Park, still 0-0. 𝗛𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗏 does really well to let out to the left-hand side for Zach Smith, who can bring the ball forward. Great opportunity for Taunton to get some players in the box. They've got numbers forward. And Smith held the ball probably a little bit too long, which has allowed City to track back as well. And Wannell gets his touch wrong as well. And Spokes very half-heartedly tries to clear the ball that time. Zach Smith inside box towards Sims Burgess on his own. And he takes a shot. Great save by Max Harris. And it's a goal for Taunton. In the 76th minute, there's Cameron Evans, who was on the rebound from Max Harris's save. It was an initial first shot from Sims Burgess of half volley, which Max Harris palms away, when it falls to Cameron Evans about 10 yards out, and he smashes it into back of the net. City got caught lacking there in the box.
Yeah, I mean, all of that came from that Luke Spokes clearance, that he didn't clear the ball, just cannoned off the Taunton player, and from then on, City were in trouble. I think Spokes was just a bit casual then again, just, you know, should have just caught the ball and then, you know, looked at who he was going to pass it to instead of just an aimless kick at it. And, well, City have paid, really. And you feel now that they've got to try and do something over these closing 15 minutes.
As Chamberlain brings the ball forward now for Taunton, it's all peacocks at the moment. City can't even find a way to thread a few passes together. Sent in by the goal scorer, Evans, in towards Zach Smith. And it's back out on the edge of the box with Lucas, who takes a shot and it finds its way back of the net, but it's offside. It did come off Sims Burgess last, but the assistant says offside, and Lays it off to right-hand side for Chamberlain. There's plenty of space ahead of him. Batten's having to watch him all the way. Just carries on running very steadily, waiting for players to come forward. It does fall to Evans, who could try and take a shot. He does so, and it did deflect off a 𝗛𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗚𝗏. Luckily, Max Harris watches it all way. Hayfield, who will just send the ball long, and once again, just City being forced to play the ball long every time, having to rush every single thing, not playing that possession football that we like to see them play. We'll certainly be very excited when that 3G pitch is installed. And it may fall to Dylan Morgan after 𝗛𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗚𝗏 does really well. There's a great shot from Morgan, and Max Harris gets it completely wrong, and it's a goal. In the 82nd minute, Dylan Morgan, after being on for just 5 minutes, has come on and doubled the advantage for Taunton. And it has all gone completely wrong. The Peacocks plucking at the Romans here. And Max Harris, he got down low to his left and he just wasn't strong enough to keep it from going underneath him, and it ends up being 2-0.
I don't know why he almost seemed to follow it across the goal, didn't he? And didn't get down to the ball quickly. Whether he thought it had taken a deflection or whether it was going to the other side, I don't know. I mean, it was a long-range shot. It wasn't enormously powerful, and Harris, to be fair to him, has been very reliable this season, a great keeper for City, and a little bit unfortunate that. There might have been something that we didn't see that maybe took the ball away from him.
As it's sent in from Chris Lyons up towards Kieran 𝗛𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗚𝗏, who does win the header but goes way over the bar. He'll be very disappointed with himself there, but he was in a physical battle to try and win that header in the first place. Luckily, his pass is intercepted by Chris Lyons. Good opportunity for Spokes to come forward now, over to right-hand side for Wilson, near the edge of box. Does take a touch past 1-0, takes a shot, and it almost finds its way into the back of the net. It doesn't quite come off Jack Bycroft. It just goes wide. And again, just there's about 5 blue, sky blue shirts to 1 Roman shirt. And Batten will look like he's going to eye to launch the ball forward that time. But honestly, City might as well just play a bit of freedom now. They're 2-0 down, half a minute remaining. They're not going to get anything out of this game now, so might as well try and do something with the ball. Wilson does well to turn it back on his right side. It goes to Freer, takes a shot, and did it come off Bycroft? I'm not quite sure. No, referee says no. Flashing opportunity across Bycroft's goal, and he had to leap up to grab it, but referee says there was no contact from the goalkeeper, so it will be a goal kick. He is calling for the kick to be taken, but I'm surprised the referee hasn't just blown up, as he's about to now, and he does so. And that's a brilliant win for Taunton Town, who are pretty much certified survival and will be in the same league as Bath next season, because you definitely expect the Romans not to be able to make the playoffs now. A real poor outing for City. They look much more in control first half. Taunton changed up their tactics, where City were a bit late to do so. And even when City did make the changes, it made no difference. Unfortunately, it does end here at Taunton Park. Bath City 0, Taunton Town 2.